Coming up on tonight's news, a JetBlue pilot has a meltdown mid-flight, are brothels becoming legalized, and find out what weather you can expect for this weekend. All this and more up next.
Do you like this top? It's so gay. Really? Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, "Oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top"?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Good evening and welcome to the National Rundown. I'm Andrea Herdman. Syrian officers are killed in broad daylight. On Thursday, members of President Bashar al-Assad's security forces kidnapped an Air Force general while they shot and killed 2 Army colonels. The violence has brought the death toll in Syria to over 9,000 since last year. The Arab League in Baghdad wants the resignation of Mr. Assad. A JetBlue pilot has a meltdown. Susan McGinnis has more with the story.
Pilot passengers had to pin down in midair has been charged with interfering with a flight crew. A federal affidavit states Captain Clayton Osborne became incoherent Tuesday while at the controls and turned off the plane's radios. According to documents, the 49-year-old then told his co-pilot, "We need to take a leap of faith and we're not going to Vegas."
JetBlue 191, we're going to have to go into Amarillo, declare an emergency.
Realizing there was a problem, the co-pilot locked the captain out of the cockpit and requested an emergency landing. Mark Saluk was sitting in the front row.
I'm looking at this happening and he's getting more and more violent.
When the incident escalated, he helped subdue the captain.
He started yelling inside the, to the flight deck, throttle to idle, bring this plane down. Al-Qaeda is here.
What caused the captain's behavior is still not known. The FBI is investigating. JetBlue has suspended Osborne with pay. He's been with the airline for 12 years and has no disciplinary record. Fred Walker, also a pilot, says he's known Osborne for at least 10 years.
He was just an all-around good fella.
Walker says this incident is out of character and says pilots deal with a lot of pressure.
There's stress in flying, especially when you've got 200 people sitting behind you, depending on you.
When the flight landed in Texas Tuesday, security restrained Osborne, and he's reportedly undergoing a mental health evaluation at this Texas facility.
Is the end near for Obamacare? Not so fast, says legal affairs correspondent for The Nation, David Cole. He calls reports of the legislation's demise greatly exaggerated. Cole notes that 4 of the judges are already in favor of the mandate. It takes only 5 to uphold the law. The number of Americans seeking unemployment benefits drops to the lowest level in almost 4 years. This is showing that the U.S. labor market is improving and more people are getting jobs. Pope Benedict XVI met with Cuba's former president Fidel Castro during a 3-day visit to the communist island. The meeting came about after the Pope called for greater freedom for the Catholic Church. Best Buy to close 50 of its stores this year. They are shifting towards mobile sales and smaller stores in order to give sagging revenue a boost and compete with Amazon and Walmart. San Antonio, Texas, and St. Paul, Minneapolis are the first to test the new store models. The hoodie protests for the death of Trayvon Martin have arrived on the floor of the United States Congress. Representative Bobby Rush of Illinois was escorted from the House floor Wednesday morning for wearing a gray hoodie and sunglasses while delivering a speech about the need for a full investigation into Martin's death. A World War II Army veteran received a Prisoner of War medal nearly 67 years after returning home from battle. 99-year-old Vincent Benedict was held captive for 4 months by the German army while serving a 1-year tour in the military. A pastor in Havertown, Pennsylvania testifies that he was unaware of the sexual abuse accounts on the priest that was sent to his parish. Reverend Henry McKee went 3 years without knowing of Reverend Michael Murtha's past. In 1995, at a previous parish, Reverend Joseph Okonski found S&M magazines and videos in Mirtha's room, and later on discovered that he had written a letter and abused a 7th grade boy. Prosecutors did not have enough evidence to find him guilty, but Mirtha later admitted he was. Secretary at the Havertown Parish never informed McKee of Mirtha's past and is now being tried for enabling or covering up clergy sex abuse. SEPTA negotiators and police are meeting for the 2nd consecutive day of bargaining talks. This is the 8th day of the strike, and recently, SEPTA is talking about accusations over the strike's effect on public safety. The strike is soon to end, according to both sides. Still to come, Bruce Springsteen makes an appearance in Philly, and how can you win the lottery? We're back in 30 seconds.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit, we're hot, we can't be stopped. We got the spirit, we're hot, we can't be stopped. We're gonna beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
So,
9 Philadelphia schools may be closing due to the new 2013 budget that may cut funds up to $400 million. The Philadelphia School District has said there are too many empty seats and aging buildings. Each school will be voted on by district officials and 5 members of the Social Reform Commission. A final budget must be adopted by May 31st. And now here's Michelle Jaworski with some information about the Anchorman sequel and the controversial ratings debate over the Bully documentary.
Thanks, Andrea. The Boss brings down the wrecking ball. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band came to Philly last night for the first of 2 shows. They played fan favorites such as Born to Run and Dancing in the Dark. Springsteen and the E Street Band play again in Philly tonight and heads to East Rutherford on April 3rd and 4th. Ron Burgundy is back. Will Ferrell visited talk show host Conan O'Brien last night dressed as the famous news anchor to announce an Anchorman sequel. The movie is slated for release towards the end of 2013. The Weinstein Company has decided to release Bully unrated after failing to get an R rating set by the MPAA overturned. Bully will have a limited release on March 30th and open in more theaters in the coming month. Now back to you at the desk.
And now Colleen Murphy is here to share with us some information on the Mega Millions.
All right, Andrea. Well, I'm sure you've heard, everyone's talking about the Mega Millions. It's now the largest jackpot ever with $500 million. Insane, right?
So crazy.
So I hope you'll be buying a ticket.
I will be buying one. I'm not sure how to do it. This will be my first time buying one, though. What should I do if I win?
Well, if you do win...
Crossing fingers.
Yeah, right? You're going to want to make sure that you sign the back of the ticket. This way, if you drop it or lose it and someone takes it, they can't claim it because it has your signature on it. And make sure you put it somewhere safe, maybe in a safe, like a safe deposit box. There's also a woman who won previously who put hers in her Bible. So,
that's
any place really.
Safe.
Yeah.
What should I do next?
Well, you're going to want to, make sure you relax a little bit. It's going to be very overwhelming, $500. Oh my goodness. So telling everyone about it right away, might bring some unwanted attention from charities or things like that. Because they're going to want to share in your newfound riches.
So if I can't, confide in my relatives, who should I turn to?
Well, it's ideal to contact a lawyer and or a financial planner so they can help you organize everything. But if you're unable to get both of those, then you're going to want to contact a very close family member or a friend, just someone that you can trust.
Okay. And $500 million is oh my God, so much money.
Too much to fathom.
How much would I end up paying in taxes?
Well, it actually depends on where you live. There is a federal tax, it's 25% of that $500 million, and then there'll also be a state tax depending on where you live.
And fingers crossed, if I win, should I take the cash payout or the annual payment?
Well, many people feel that taking the full amount is the smartest idea, but on the contrary, taking your money out, a lump sum can lead to you spending it all at once. So if you take it out by payments, it's better organization. You won't spend your money all at once.
That's great, because I would definitely spend it all in one
yeah,
place.
Right?
All right, thank you, Colleen.
You're welcome.
Next, Gabriella tells us about Hong Kong corruption and legalizing brothels in Canada in the World News Minute.
Good evening. I'm Gabriella Cole with your World News Minute. Pakistan has fired a doctor who helped the CIA hunt Osama bin Laden. Dr. Shakil Afridi helped collect DNA samples from the residents of bin Laden's compound in order to verify that he was there. He was fired for starting a polio campaign without permission. The top court in Ontario, Canada, has legalized brothels, stating that Canadian prostitution laws unfairly discriminate against prostitutes and their ability to work in a safe environment. However, the ruling still makes soliciting customers in the street illegal. Finally, Thomas and Raymond Kwok, who control Hong Kong's biggest property development company, Sun Hung Kai, were arrested for suspected corruption. The arrest comes only 10 days after Sun Hung Kai's executive director was arrested in connection with a bribery investigation. And that's your World News Minute. Back to you at the desk.
A former airport security manager is facing 5 counts of prostitution charges. Police were tipped off about suspicious behavior at a hotel from a man who was escorting men and women out of one room. Officers interviewed people and found out that one man paid the former airport worker $100 for sex. A Philadelphia mom wins $1 million at the 45th Pillsbury Bake Off. Christina Varelli won the contest with a pumpkin pie ravioli dessert with salted caramel whipped cream topping. Varelli plans to spend the $1 million on college for her 2 daughters and new windows for her house. Can the Sixers remain one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference? Matt Nelson has sports news next. Matt?
Well, Andrea, there's good news and there's also bad news for the Philadelphia 76ers. The good news first. Coach Doug Collins won his 400th career game late last week against the Celtics, and the Sixers are tied atop with Boston in the Atlantic Division. The bad news now. Sixers forward Andre Iguodala is listed as day-to-day with tendonitis in his left knee. His status for tomorrow's game at Washington is uncertain. Major League Baseball has finally begun in Japan. The Seattle Mariners and Oakland Athletics, finished up a 2-game series this morning. Seattle won yesterday's season opening game 3-1 in 11 innings. Oakland takes game 2 this morning 4-1. Now, if your bracket is already busted like mine, believe me, you're not alone. But if you did pick one of these Final Four teams, congrats! Saturday night, prime time in New Orleans, the Final Four gets underway. First game, Kentucky and Louisville at 6:09 p.m. Game 2 is Ohio State, Kansas at about 8:49 p.m. The winners of these 2 games will play each other Monday night, 9 p.m. We'll send it back over to you, Andrea.
It's time to wave this nice weather away. Here's Ashley with more.
I'm Ashley Tradio, and I'll be bringing you your weather. Right now it's 55 degrees, cloudy and very windy. Tonight we'll have a low of 37. And now let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. Tomorrow it'll be very nice, sunny, 59 degrees with a low of 46, but don't get too used to it. On Saturday it'll rain, 48 degrees, a low of 40. Sunday we have it's a little warmer, 63 degrees with a low of 49. Monday, more rain, 71 degrees with a low of 51. Tuesday, more rain, but it'll at least be warmer with a high of 72 and a low of 49. So make sure to bring your umbrellas. Let's take a look at the weather window.
So we have a really pretty picture of the Holly Bush Mansion and the church, but you can tell that with the clouds that rain is definitely on the way.
After such a nice weekend, it's such a shame all this rain.
Had to end soon enough.
It's always rainy in Glassboro. So I don't know what I'm going to do this weekend because of all this rain. I'm not going to be able to go outside anymore.
Probably have to go to the movies, something inside.
I know, that stinks. That's all for this week's National Rundown. Have a great weekend.